Have you noticed your ankles looking just a little puffier in the morning? Your urine slightly darker than it used to be? Or that heavy, sluggish feeling in your lower back that you quietly blame on just getting older? What if I told you that right now while you're watching this, your kidneys could be losing function silently, without pain, without warning, and without a single obvious symptom until more than half of their filtering power is already gone? Every year in the United States, hundreds of thousands of people discover kidney damage only after it has quietly progressed to a dangerous stage. And the most unsettling part isn't that it happens suddenly, it's that it happens slowly and visibly 1% at a time, especially after the age of 50. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and today I need you to understand something urgent. The drink sitting in your refrigerator right now could either be accelerating that silent decline or helping restore the blood flow your kidneys desperately need to survive. The difference is not subtle. It can begin showing up in your body within days. Clearer urine, reduced swelling, lighter mornings, sharper energy, or if you're choosing the wrong ones, a continued slide toward chronic kidney disease that most people don't see coming until dialysis becomes part of the conversation. But here's the good news, and I want you to stay with me for this: kidney decline after 50 is not always inevitable. In many cases, it's driven by something surprisingly correctable: reduced microcirculation inside the kidney's tiny filters and a lack of specific compounds your body needs to keep those vessels open and functioning. When you restore that circulation, you don't just slow the damage. You can measurably improve filtration markers. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the most powerful kidney-supporting drinks ranked from least effective to most impactful, including one combination backed by emerging research showing up to a 41% improvement in key filtration markers. And what makes this especially compelling is that the most powerful option may already be in your kitchen, overlooked, underestimated, and capable of changing the trajectory of your kidney health if you use it correctly. So, before you pour your next glass of anything, give me your attention for a few minutes, because what you're about to learn could determine whether your kidneys continue to decline quietly or begin recovering in ways most people never realize are possible. Let's start with something that surprises most people. Chicory root coffee isn't trendy, it's not flashy, and it certainly doesn't dominate social media detox trends, but it quietly addresses one of the most overlooked drivers of kidney stress: your gut. When I first suggested chicory root to a 64-year-old patient who was watching his creatinine slowly climb, he looked at me like I'd just handed him a substitute for real coffee. 2 months later, his labs hadn't dramatically reversed, but something subtle had changed. His blood urea nitrogen had decreased slightly, his bloating was gone, and he reported feeling lighter in the afternoons. That's not magic, that's microbiology. Chicory root contains inulin, a soluble prebiotic fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Why does that matter for your kidneys? Because when your gut barrier weakens, compounds known as uremic toxins leak into your bloodstream. Your kidneys then have to filter those toxins out, increasing their workload. A 2024 study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition showed that inulin supplementation reduced circulating uremic toxins by approximately 9% over 8 weeks. 9% may not sound dramatic, but in the context of progressive kidney decline, even slowing the toxic burden can be meaningful. However, and this is critical, chicory root works slowly. It supports the system. It doesn't restore blood flow to damaged microvessels. Think of it as reducing incoming trash, not fixing the filter itself. It's caffeine-free, affordable, and safe for most people, but it's foundational, not transformational. And that distinction matters because many people stop here, believing they fix their kidneys with a gut-friendly swap. But just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor even more dangerous, and it's hiding in something far more common than chicory. Now, this is where things get interesting, because after we reduce the toxic burden from the gut, most people assume the next logical step is simple hydration. And that's exactly why cucumber mint water has exploded across kidney detox searches over the past few years. It looks clean. It feels refreshing. It gives you that psychological sense that you're flushing something out. I had a patient who proudly told me she was drinking 3 large bottles of cucumber mint water every day because she read it was cleansing her kidneys. She genuinely believed she was reversing damage. And to be fair, hydration does matter. Your kidneys rely on adequate fluid to maintain filtration pressure, and cucumbers are about 96% water with trace minerals and small amounts of antioxidants. A 2023 review in phytotherapy research showed that cucumber-based beverages improved hydration markers by around 12% compared to plain water alone. That's helpful, especially if someone struggles to drink enough fluids. Mint can also ease mild urinary discomfort, making the drink more appealing and easier to sustain. But here's the hard truth: hydration is not the same as restoring microcirculation. Drinking more fluid doesn't automatically reopen constricted capillaries in aging kidney tissue. If blood flow to the glomeruli is reduced, simply adding water is like pouring more into a hose that's partially pinched. The pressure changes, but the blockage remains. That's where many people stall. They feel good for a week, assume improvement, and stop digging deeper. And in some cases, excessive intake, especially for individuals on potassium-sparing medications, can even create imbalance. So yes, cucumber mint water can support hydration. It can make healthy habits easier, but it doesn't fundamentally change filtration efficiency in a measurable way. And just knowing that still isn't enough, because there's another factor even more dangerous, and it's hiding inside something people think is far healthier than it really is. And this is where things start to feel deceptively healthy. After hydration trends and gut support swaps, many people upgrade to blueberry lemon water, convinced they've found the antioxidant sweet spot. It looks vibrant, it sounds science-backed, and it fits perfectly into the clean eating narrative dominating YouTube and TikTok health feeds in 2024. I had a 58-year-old patient who proudly showed me her daily routine: a full cup of blueberries blended with lemon every morning. She told me she'd read that anthocyanins were powerful kidney protectors, and she was right partially. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, compounds shown to reduce oxidative stress in vascular tissue. A 2022 study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry reported that anthocyanin intake was associated with a 19% reduction in inflammatory markers related to kidney tissue damage. That's real data. That's measurable biology. Lemon adds citrate, which can help prevent certain types of kidney stone formation. So on paper, this looks like a strategic upgrade. And in moderation, it absolutely can support antioxidant balance. But here's the part: almost nobody talks about dosage in metabolic contexts. A full cup of blueberries contains roughly 15 grams of natural sugar. For someone over 50, especially those managing prediabetes, insulin resistance, or early metabolic syndrome, that daily sugar load can quietly counteract the vascular benefits. Elevated glucose levels stiffen blood vessels over time, and stiff vessels mean reduced microcirculation. And reduced microcirculation means compromised filtration. So while blueberry lemon water may reduce oxidative stress, it doesn't directly reopen narrowed kidney capillaries. It protects, but it doesn't restore. And that distinction is critical, because the next level isn't just about antioxidants. It's about actively improving blood flow to the kidneys in a way most people completely overlook. But just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor even more dangerous, and it's hiding in something far more powerful than fruit. This is where we shift from protection to performance. After antioxidants and hydration, the real breakthrough begins with circulation, and that's exactly why watermelon ginger juice deserves serious attention. Most people see watermelon as a summer fruit, sweet, refreshing, harmless. They don't see it as a vascular tool. But inside watermelon is L-citrulline, an amino acid your body converts into arginine and then into nitric oxide, the molecule that literally relaxes and opens blood vessels. And this is not wellness hype. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Hypertension found that L-citrulline supplementation improved vascular function and increased blood flow efficiency by up to 33% in adults with mild endothelial dysfunction. Now translate that to kidney physiology or glomeruli. Those microscopic filters depend entirely on microvascular blood flow. When circulation improves, filtration pressure improves. When filtration pressure improves, waste removal improves. I remember a patient in his early 60s who started drinking freshly blended watermelon with a small piece of ginger every morning. Within a week, he reported something subtle but important. His urine looked clearer, and the heavy sensation in his lower back had diminished. That wasn't placebo. That was perfusion. Ginger adds another layer by reducing inflammatory cytokines that contribute to microscarring in kidney tissue. So now we're not just supporting, we're actively improving flow. But here's the catch: timing matters. Fresh preparation matters. And this still doesn't fully address oxidative damage happening inside the filter walls themselves. And just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor even more dangerous. And it targets the filters at a much deeper level. Once blood flow starts improving, the next question becomes uncomfortable, because better circulation is useless if the filters themselves are being quietly shredded from the inside. That's why the parsley lemon ginger tonic matters. Parsley isn't just a garnish. It contains apigenin, a flavonoid that targets a specific damage pathway most people have never even heard of, ADPH oxidase. This enzyme helps generate free radicals that attack the glomeruli, the tiny kidney filters that decide what stays in your blood and what gets flushed out. When NADPH oxidase runs hot for years, it's like sandblasting your filters every single day. A 2021 study in phytomedicine reported that apigenin reduced markers of glomerular oxidative damage by about 37% in older subjects. That's a big deal, because oxidative stress doesn't just irritate the kidneys, it accelerates microscarring, stiffens tissue, and makes filtration less efficient over time. And here's what makes this tonic so powerful in real life. People don't just see it on paper, they feel it. Less heaviness, less swelling, more stable energy, especially when it's used consistently. The recipe is simple but strategic: a generous handful of fresh flat-leaf parsley, the juice of 1 lemon, and a thumb-sized piece of ginger steeped in hot water for about 10 minutes. You strain it. Drink it warm, ideally on an empty stomach. It tastes sharp and earthy, not fun, but it's not meant to be fun. It's meant to protect. And there's one critical warning: parsley is high in vitamin K, which can interfere with blood thinners like warfarin. So if you're on anticoagulants, this is not a casual drink, it's a medical conversation. Now, if watermelon is about opening the vessels, parsley is about shielding the filters. But even that still isn't the full answer. Because inflammation is the wildfire that keeps reigniting kidney damage, no matter how healthy your routine looks. And just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor even more dangerous. And it's the one most people never address consistently. Inflammation is the silent accelerant most people never measure, but it's the reason kidney decline keeps progressing even when someone eats clean and drinks enough water. That's where nettle, dandelion root, and turmeric step in, not as trendy detox ingredients, but as targeted anti-inflammatory agents with real renal implications. Nettle leaf provides a gentle diuretic effect without aggressively stripping electrolytes, while also delivering salicylic compounds that calm inflammatory signaling. Dandelion root shifts part of the detox burden toward the liver by stimulating bile flow, which indirectly reduces metabolic pressure on the kidneys. And turmeric, specifically its active compound curcumin, is one of the most studied anti-inflammatory molecules in renal medicine. A 2023 clinical trial published in BMC Nephrology found that a combination of anti-inflammatory herbal compounds significantly reduced kidney inflammation markers by up to 44% and improved estimated glomerular filtration rate, eGFR, by around 18% over a 12-week period in patients with early-stage kidney dysfunction. Those aren't cosmetic changes. Those are lab value shifts. One of my patients, who had plateaued for nearly a year, despite diet changes, began drinking a simple evening infusion: 1 teaspoon dried nettle leaf, 1 teaspoon dandelion root, half a teaspoon turmeric steeped for 8 minutes with a pinch of black pepper to enhance absorption. Within a few weeks, ankle swelling reduced noticeably, and her follow-up labs showed modest but real improvement in inflammatory markers. But here's the reality: this works only with consistency. It's not a 3-day cleanse. It's a sustained anti-inflammatory strategy. Miss weeks and the benefit fades. Use it regularly, and you create a calmer internal environment where filtration can stabilize. Now we've addressed gut toxins, hydration myths, oxidative stress, circulation, and inflammation separately. But what if there were a single drink that influenced blood flow and inflammation at the same time? And just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor even more dangerous. And it may be the one that ultimately determines whether your kidneys decline or recover. And now we arrive at the point where everything converges: blood flow and inflammation, circulation, and cellular protection. Because the Hibiscus Beet Lemon Tonic doesn't just support one pathway, it targets both at the same time. Hibiscus is extraordinarily rich in anthocyanins, even more concentrated per ounce than blueberries. Beetroot delivers dietary nitrates, which your body efficiently converts into nitric oxide, the same molecule responsible for relaxing and widening blood vessels. And lemon contributes citrate, helping prevent mineral buildup in kidney tubules. This isn't a random wellness blend, it's a strategic combination designed around renal physiology. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology observed that adults over 55 who consumed a hibiscus-beet combination daily for 90 days demonstrated measurable improvements in glomerular filtration markers up to 41% in some subgroups, alongside significant reductions in inflammatory indicators and blood urea nitrogen levels. That's not marketing language. That's clinical movement. I've seen this play out in practice. A patient who had plateaued for months began drinking this tonic every morning on an empty stomach, 2 tablespoons of dried hibiscus steeped for 5 minutes, half a freshly blended raw beet, the juice of 1 lemon strained and consumed without food for at least 30 minutes. Within weeks morning, puffiness, decreased urine clarity improved, and follow-up labs showed tangible progress. Not dramatic overnight miracles, but directionally powerful change. But here's what makes this different from everything before it: execution matters. Fresh preparation matters. Timing matters. Even antibacterial mouthwash used beforehand can blunt nitrate conversion by killing the oral bacteria responsible for activating it. Small mistakes can quietly cancel much of the benefit. This drink works on both pathways, opening vessels and calming inflammation, but only when used correctly and consistently. And just knowing this still isn't enough, because there's one final factor that can either amplify everything you've learned or quietly undo it. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this entire conversation, it's this: your kidneys are not fragile by default, they are responsive. They respond to blood flow, they respond to inflammation, and they respond to the daily habits you repeat without thinking. Decline is not always destiny. In many cases, it's direction. And direction can change. Start simple. Choose one strategy and commit to it consistently. If you're going to try the hibiscus beet lemon tonic, prepare it fresh, drink it on an empty stomach, and give your body at least 30 days to respond. Stay hydrated, be mindful of hidden sugars, avoid antibacterial mouthwash before nitrate-rich drinks, and if you're on medication, speak with your healthcare provider before making major changes. This isn't about trends, it's about protecting the filtration system that keeps every other organ functioning. If you found this information valuable, save this video so you can come back to the preparation steps and reminders. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I regularly share evidence-based medical insights designed to help you protect your kidney health, improve your lab results, and stay independent for as long as possible. The next videos will go deeper into early warning signs, lab markers you should be tracking, and daily habits that quietly accelerate or reverse kidney stress. Your body is always trying to heal. Your kidneys are always trying to filter efficiently. Sometimes they just need the right support at the right time. Take care of them now, and they will take care of you for years to come.